One day, a boy was sitting in his classroom in school. He was extremely bored and was waiting for the school bell to ring. When he looked out the window, something caught his eye. There was a photograph lying on the grass outside. When school was over, he ran outside and picked up the photograph before anyone else had a chance to see it. Turning it over in his hands, he realized it was a picture of an incredibly beautiful girl. She has a long black hair, soft pink lips, and a mole right below her beautiful eye. For some reason, she was holding up 2 fingers. The girl was so pretty that he wanted to meet her. He showed the photograph to everyone in the school and asked if they knew her. Unfortunately, nobody recognized her. That night, when he went to bed, he placed the photo on his bedside table and went to sleep. Around midnight, he woke up. There was something tapping on his window. Then he heard what sounded like someone giggling. More than a little frightened, he worked up the courage to investigate it. He jumped out of bed, went over to the window and opened it. There was nothing there. The next day, he showed the photo to his friends and neighbors and asked if they knew the mysterious girl. Everybody he asked said they had never seen the girl before in their lives. That night, as he lay in bed, he heard the tapping sound again. He looked out the window and could just make out a figure standing on the other side of the street. He couldn't be sure, but it looked like the mysterious girl in the photograph. Clutching the picture tightly, he threw on his clothes and raced downstairs and out the front door. As he crossed the road, he forgot to look both ways and was suddenly hit by a car. The driver got out of the car and ran over to help the boy, but it was no use. The boy had been killed on impact. The driver noticed something clutched in the boy's hand. It was a photograph. Turning it over in his hands, the driver realized it was a picture of an incredibly beautiful girl. She has a long black hair, soft pink lips, and a mole right below her beautiful eye. For some reason, she was holding up 3 fingers. "20 years ago, there was a young girl who was a talented ballet dancer. Her mother was very proud of her and had ambitions that someday, her daughter would become a famous ballerina. However, the girl's hopes of a bright future were dashed when she was diagnosed with terminal cancer. The doctors told her she had less than a year to live. As the months went by, her mother tried to make her as comfortable as possible, but the girl's condition worsened. Soon, she was unable to walk or even stand and had to spend most of her time lying in bed. One night, the mother was downstairs watching television when she heard bumping noises coming from her daughter's room. She raced up the stairs, opened the bedroom door, and was shocked to see that her sickly daughter was out of bed and moving around. Not only that, her daughter was jumping and dancing around the room, just like she had when she was healthy. The mother watched in delight as the young girl performed leaps and pirouettes. She grabbed a camera and started taking photos of her beloved ballet girl. Marveling at her daughter's miraculous recovery, the mother snapped picture after picture until the camera was out of film. In the end, the girl finished in the arabesque position. The mother gave her a round of applause, but when she looked at her daughter's face, she suddenly stopped clapping. The girl's eyes were rolled back in her head and her face was deathly pale. Suddenly, she keeled over and collapsed in a heap on the bedroom floor. The ballet girl was rushed to hospital but was pronounced dead on arrival. The doctors said that the ballet dancing had been too much for her weak heart to withstand. She had literally danced herself to death. After the funeral, the mother took the pictures to be developed. When she got them back, she flipped through the photos, remembering that last happy moment when her daughter had danced so beautifully. Suddenly, her hands started shaking and a scream died in her throat. The photographs fell to the floor and she collapsed. The pictures revealed that, the entire time her daughter was performing the ballet moves, there was a ghostly green hand clutching her by the head and pulling her back and forth, forcing her to dance. There was a woman who had a 6-year-old son. One day, she bought a new mobile phone. When she came home from work, she started cooking dinner and left her phone down on the kitchen table. Her son came into the kitchen and saw the phone. He asked his mother if he could play with it. She told him that he could, as long as he did not call anyone or delete any text messages. Of course, the boy agreed and went off to his bedroom to play with the phone. Around 10 p.m. that night, she went upstairs to tuck in her son and found him fast asleep on his bed. The new cell phone was lying on the ground beside the bed. She picked it up and began browsing through the settings to make sure he had not deleted anything. She noticed some minor changes. He had changed the theme, the background, and had given her a new ringtone. She noticed that he had taken some pictures with the cell phone. She opened the images folder and browsed through them. How cute, she thought. He had been taking pictures of himself. Then she came across the last photo in the folder. When she first saw it, she couldn't quite believe it. Were her eyes playing tricks on her? It was a photograph of her son, lying asleep on her bed. But the disturbing thing was what was lurking in the far left corner of the picture.